I want to ask you a couple questions about your family history, so I can tell the boys things about their family, their great-grandparents and all that when they get older. And where was she born, do you remember? And, but it was back in Arkansas, probably?
No.
No?
Mother?
No, I don't.
What is the arrow on here for?
That means it's going a little bit. It goes all the time, the camera's going.
Okay.
I hope to get some of that information.
You don't know their first... Now, she married a man, and then was she married just one time?
My mother? Yeah.
John, knock it off.
She was married,
Stop it.
she was married to Dell. A man by the name of Dell. I don't remember his first name.
John, get up now.
And he was a mail carrier.
Dell was a mail carrier.
Yeah, and they had 2 children, Elizabeth and William.
And did Elizabeth keep the Pryor name then? Was she called Pryor before?
Well, her name wasn't Pryor. Her name was Dell.
Her last name was Dell.
My mother's name was Pryor. And then she married, and I forget his first name. And he went to live with his uncle when he was a teenager. So I didn't see him.
So you never saw him after
Never,
that?
I saw him once when Lizzie was sick. And Lizzie died when she was 18.
And she had, what did she have?
Typhoid.
Typhoid.
As well as I knew. I don't really think the doctor knew what she had in those days. But in later years, my symptoms tested patients.
Stop it, just.
But she was a wonderful girl. She died.
How old were you when Elizabeth died?
I don't remember, but I was very small. I just remember getting up
This
on
is
the
Grandma
bed
Lacey
and
on
crying.
Sunday afternoon, June 3rd.
She had died.
Mom's
begging to
interviewing
come back.
her.
But before she died, she had a vision the day she died. And we had a neighbor. Neighbors then in those days would come in and help you out. She didn't always go to the hospital. Mother wouldn't have had the money anyhow. And
So your mother did all the nursing of Elizabeth?
Mother and the neighbors, and the doctor came in every day. And
now that must have been in
it's
the
hard
late...
to talk when you know you're...
Well, I'll just ask you questions and you just answer. Then it must have been in about 1910 or 1912 when she died, because you were born, you think, 1906 or 7 or 8.
I've got to find those things out. I think I maybe was a little older than that. I might have been around 4. I wasn't in school, I know that.
Oh.
So, I was young.
And Dode, how old was she? She was older?
2.5 years older than me.
Okay, then your mom married, who did she marry then that was your father?
Well, after Mr. Dell died, she married my dad. His name was George something Baker.
So her name was Baker then, and your maiden name was Baker. And there was just you and your sister Dodie, and she was 2.5 years older than you.
And her name was Baker, of course.
Uh-huh.
And
then what happened to him? Now I want to hear that story.
you want to hear the farm that my mother had and her first husband? She had a beautiful farm.
I'm zooming in here on Grandma Lacey.
She had her breech-loading shotgun that her husband had just bought her, a brand new one. She would go out and hunt for meat for the table. She could shoot a squirrel out of the eye, or out of the tree, better than anybody. And then my dad his mother lived with him, and he had 2 kids, or 3 or 4.
From another marriage somewhere.
Yeah.
And you never saw those again either, I don't suppose.
I've never seen them. That since
Oh.
they came to Eureka, they separated when I was 2.
Oh.
I don't remember anything about that. Mother just told me about their days on the farm, and I don't remember my grandmother. And Mother, Dad he built violins, and played for dances.
He made violin?
Oh yeah, he built violins and sold them.
And that's what he did for a living?
No, he was more or less a playboy, according to Mother. I never heard his side of it. He was popular with the women.
So he played in bands?
Yeah, he'd play for dances, and bluegrass.
Yeah.
And
suppose he
Mother'd
was
stay
real
home with
good
his
looking.
kids and her kids.
Uh-huh.
His mother would complained. This is what she told me. And she didn't lie though. My mother never tell a lie. That's the one thing she was definite. But anyhow, she used to tell us at the dinner table, I guess. And she said that his mother would complain that she was better to her kids, and she would to George than his kids. It caused trouble. Mother wouldn't be better to anybody's kids because she loved all children. Children all loved her. But anyhow, word came to her that he was flirting around with someone. Oh, it was more serious than I was supposed to. She was supposed to have given birth to a child, and my dad was to blame, she said. Dad denied it, but Mother believed it, so she left.
She left her own farm?
Oh, before that, though. He didn't work.
John! Just a minute. John, you're making...
Sell the stock and not replenish it. And use the money. And he would,
So he just kind of
yeah,
spent
he
the money...
just run the farm down by selling off everything. But finally, she went to get her shotgun, and Mother would sell eggs and keep and hunt. Because game was plentiful then. She could just go out in the woods and shoot a squirrel anytime. They were good eating in those days. And anyhow, she, I don't know what to say.
Well, she left him and left him with the farm.
Oh, the gun. I got to tell you, the thing that really got her was when she went to get her shotgun that her first husband had given her. And it was gone. She confronted my dad with it, and he denied it, and he finally admitted that he took it to town and sold it. So Mother just, I don't know if she left him the farm. I think she did, because she never did say, but she had a sewing machine that she was very proud of. She gave the sewing machine to a man if he'd bring her to a neighbor, that he'd bring her to Eureka.
And where did she live at that time? Where was the
Eagle
farm?
Rock.
Eagle Rock.
Eagle Rock, Missouri.
Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who was in Eureka? Did she have family in Eureka that she was moving to?
I don't think so. I don't know why she came to Eureka. I wish I'd have asked her. But she came there.
There were no relatives that you remember visiting in Eureka then?
No one living there. My Uncle Frank would come and visit us, and Uncle John.
Were those her brothers?
Yeah, they were brothers, and they lived in Missouri, close by, you know. It was right.
Across
We
the
were right
border.
near the Missouri border, so it wasn't much different where we were living. And so we lived there. Mother had a hard time making it. She could have gotten married, but she wouldn't do it because the kids didn't want her to. And she was afraid they'd be mean to us. A man would be mean to us.
Mm-hmm.
So she worked, and we worked. I worked in a cannery when I was Melinda's age. Part-time in the summertime. Didn't hurt me.
No.
And
I wanted to ask you, now, when she lived in Eagle Rock, is that where her family was from?
I
Her
don't
mom
know.
and
They
dad?
were in Missouri. She talked about Dade County, Missouri. She talked about Vernon. I hear a name once in a while on TV, you know, about some town, and I think that sounds like the town where Mother lived. Her father had a big farm, and they had cattle, and she'd tell me about life on the farm. She had twin brothers and a twin sister. I mean, she had two brothers that were twins, and she had a twin sister.
Oh.
Yeah, she used to tell me about their
What
life.
was her sister's name? Do you remember?
Martha Caroline.
Martha Caroline.
And
Did she go to school then? Did she?
they lived, well, they had to walk 5 miles to school. And they went Sunday school. But I don't know whether my grandfather died or what. They had to stay home and do work.
Oh.
So they quit school to stay home and work. But she was educated in other ways. She was well educated. She could write and read and figure and all that. She probably had a grade school education.
Then when she moved to Eureka Springs, what did she do to earn money for a living to raise you girls?
She did housework.
Oh, so she just cleaned people's houses every day?
She worked more like...
as a maid in one person's house?
No. She went to work just as a plain housekeeper first, you know, for Mr. and Mrs. Butts. He was a large man as well, and they had 4 or 5 kids. And Mother, that had trouble keeping housekeepers. But Mother made him understand when she went to work, she would not be treated like a servant. My mother was very proud. She said, I will not eat in the kitchen. I will eat with the family, because in the South you always got your meals.
John?
So she ate in the kitchen, or she said she would not eat in the kitchen. She'd eat with the family, and she laid down the rules. They hired her.
Now, did she cook the meals too, besides
No,
cleaning the house? No, they had somebody else.
She washed, cleaned the house. I don't
And that was just during the day. She was just there
Oh,
during
yeah,
the day.
no.
You slept in
And,
my bed.
When she would empty boys' pants, you know,
You slept in my bed. You did.
Go ahead.
when she would empty the boys' pockets when she washed them, she'd always put them in their room. Everything that was in there, didn't matter to her if it's important or not, it went in their room. And they told her one day that she was the only housekeeper that ever did that. All the other housekeepers threw their stuff at the wastebasket. So they learned to love my mother. And she would eat at the dinner with the family. And this isn't interesting.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Your grandchildren and great-grandchildren will
me.
want to hear it.
And my John, who
Bye-bye,
became a pros-
cowboy.
Okay, don't go off anywhere. John, one of the boys, loved coffee. My mother always had coffee. And he always wanted to sit by my mother because his mother wouldn't let him drink coffee. And my mother would let him sit there and drink coffee. And then she'd tell me, she wanted another cup of coffee. They waited on her like servants wait on people. And Mother would slip it to John. And you know, years later when my sis was back there, he'd never forgot that.
Oh.
And even after he became a prosecuting attorney, and they hired, later years, they hired my mother just to oversee the housework. She was more like, she was a housekeeper, but there was others to do the work. She just thought they did it right. And John told my sister that our sister Elizabeth was the prettiest girl in that town when she was young.
What? Christmas. What you remember about Christmas when you were a little girl? When you were
Well, I love, you know, I saw a program last night. Tree grows in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Our life was something like that, not quite. We were poor like them, but we were happy. The mother on the Tree Grows in Brooklyn always had that sad look on her face. We were never sad. We were always happy. We were told there were lots of things, but we wasn't to want them. If we didn't yearn for them, we didn't care. So we were happy with what we had. But we made our own Christmas decorations. We always had a tree. We'd go out in the woods and bring the tree in, my sister and I. And there was usually snow, and we would go bobsledding. That was a lot of fun. And we went fox hunting later years after I was out at the Lacey's.
Well, I want to hear about, you told me about oranges once that you got for Christmas.
It was a real bad year. Even the well-to-do people, the business people had a bad year. No money, got very little wages. And one morning, a wagon, a hack, we call them a hack. The grocery stores delivered your groceries. Here they came in with 3 big sacks, great big sacks of groceries. And each one of them was oranges. And oranges were expensive down there. You poor people couldn't afford them hardly, it was a treat. And my sister started to cry. And some church had sent them. And we never did know this was sent. And my sister started to cry, and she said, why did they bring that stuff here? And Mother said, well, because they thought we could use it. And my sister said, now they'll know we're poor. And Mother said, as if they don't already know it. And I jumped into the sacks and reached in and got me an orange, and I didn't care who brought them, I had an orange. That was a treat. We don't know what. You know, when I first came to Washington, the thing that took my eye, that was, you know, in 28, things are different now, was the Pike Street Market.
Oh.
And I would say to Aunt Nettie, will they have a market like this in Mount Vernon? And she'd say, no, but there'll be plenty of vegetables.
Yeah.
Because that